Well, happy Friday. I already saw some of you saying TGIF. All right. I don't know if you're going to say thank God for the weather that we have this weekend, but we'll be talking all about that. Good morning and welcome into the show. I'm your host, Monica Adams. The show is The Real Monica Adams Show, and we're going to get real about the breakdown of this forecast, the timing of it all, how much is expected. Will it all be snow? Will we get any ice? For those of you that have family and friends in other areas, I'm going to ask our aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore, what does it look like to the north, to the south, etc. If you looked a few days ago, which is what I was hoping, they were only saying an inch for our area. Then it went to 3 to 5. Then all of a sudden I saw 8 to 12. I'm talking to family in Birmingham and they thought they were getting ice and then it was snow. And it's been very confusing, but imagine being a meteorologist and trying to break it all down. Well, that's what we're going to discuss. We've got a little news you can use. And of course, it's Friday, so it's a Foodie Friday. And today we get a chance to spotlight Carondelet Garden and Carondelet Kitchen. That is actually a couple on Instagram, and they've got over 1,000 blogs. I can't wait for you to meet them as well to make their grandma's Cool Whip dessert. That's all coming up for you. And then we'll head into some really exciting things we have coming up on the show. But before we get to that, let's get into our weather segment. It's a segment we call What the Weather.
Good evening from St. Louis, Missouri, and it is a beautiful one.
Oh, Beckett, I don't think you're going to say it. Well, I take that back. You might say the snow is beautiful, but it's not going to be beautiful with regards to it being warm. So I hope you all understand that. Let's introduce you. If you don't know our friend, this is Beckett Moore. First of all, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. I've got a blanket on, and I think I'm going to be covering up with a lot of things this weekend.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so as I just mentioned, Beckett, it's been all over the place. I mean, I was really originally excited, thinking we were only going to get an inch, and then it started changing a little bit. The one thing I never saw change for our immediate area was the fact that it was snow and not ice. Is that the case?
Yes, for pretty much all of St. Louis, it's just going to be snow. It's just going to be rounds of snow, really 2 rounds of snow, as we've seen that northern shift all week. Like you said, earlier in the week, we were looking at maybe 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches. But now that we've seen that northern shift over the week, we're really in the bullseye of the storm now.
Let me ask this, for those that have family and friends outside of our immediate area, where are we seeing in the United States the most snow?
I think we'll see the most snow really into the northeast as the storm starts getting up there into Pennsylvania and New York. I think that's where we'll see the highest amounts, half a foot up to 2 feet in some isolated areas.
Yeah, I've got a friend who we're actually going to be doing some Olympic coverage with next month, and she lives just outside of Washington, D.C., and she's like, Monica, I'm really worried of what's coming. She's not even just worried for, having to get out in it, but she was talking, and I think this is really important for all of us to think about, talking about the homeless people. And she's like, Monica, I'm really afraid that we're going to see a lot of deaths, and, we've got to get these people into shelters. So think about that. We got to think about how blessed we are to have a roof over our shoulders. So that's where the most snow is. Where are you seeing these most ice or blend?
That's going to be down to the south into parts of western and northern Mississippi, northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and into Tennessee and Kentucky. And then we'll also see a spot of significant ice into the Carolinas and Virginia.
So again, this is not something to take lightly, folks. We keep talking about this is dangerous, not just what's coming snow-wise or ice, but these temperatures and the wind chills, which is just amazing. And of course, affecting so many levels. We're going to get into the news side of it, of how it's going to affect travel, just getting around. Again, we keep talking about checking on the seniors, taking care of the pets, etc. But what is it going to look like for our immediate area? Let's get into that. All right, Beckett, do your thing.
All right, so right now we do have a winter storm warning that encompasses the entire St. Louis metro area. Up towards Quincy and Hannibal, though, that winter storm warning does end with a winter weather advisory. But this warning is the highest level of advisory warning watch you can get for a winter storm, and it covers the entire area. So now let's look at the timing for this event. It's going to start Saturday morning. So I'm thinking the first flakes are going to start falling somewhere around 7 to 10 o'clock around the St. Louis metro area. So we're looking at some travel impacts as we head into tomorrow morning into the afternoon as well. I think plows will be able to pretty much keep up with this, especially on the main roads, but on any back roads, less traveled roads, that's where we could see some problems out there with travel. But I think those major interstates plows will be able to keep up with that. So that's why you only see a 2 out of 4 as we head into tomorrow and into the afternoon heading into tomorrow. Now, as we go into the evening time, that's when we could see a lull in the action, very light snow to no snow at times here. So that's going to be when those plows are going to be able to get out there, really clear the roads before the next round comes through. And that's going to happen as we head towards midnight and into the early morning on Sunday. I do have a 4 out of 4 for that travel threat as we head into tomorrow or Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon. That's when we're going to see the heaviest bands of snow, our second round of snow, and that is going to bring the biggest impacts, terrible travel conditions, hazardous to impossible travel conditions at times. So let's look at the snow forecast for this event. I do have 8 to 12 inches for St. Louis County, southern St. Charles County, and into Jefferson County and areas south. So that's overall what we're expecting in the St. Louis area. I'd say 8 to 9 is probably the benchmark, but if it does overperform, we could get up to a foot of snow. As you head north into Pike, Lincoln, northern St. Charles County, Warren County, that's where I'm thinking more 6 to 8, and all the way up towards Hannibal, that's where it's more 3 to 6 inches. And then down to our southwest towards Springfield, we could get some areas that get over a foot, up to half a foot of snow. So this is a big deal, very high accumulations across the board. And lastly, our impacts travel could be very difficult to impossible. And again, the timing on that is going to be early Sunday morning through Sunday late afternoon. If you have to travel, keep a flashlight, snow brush, ice scraper, food, and water in your car in case of emergency. Wind chills, again, like Monica mentions, they will be very cold. They will be in the negatives. So make sure to cover up all those hose hookups today or tomorrow. Check on your pets and the elderly and wear several layers, and especially limit that time outdoors, because just a little bit of time and you can get very, very cold out there. Our high today, 13 degrees, that very bone-chilling cold, frigid air has come into the area with a low of 2 tonight. Again, the wind chill, though, will be in the negatives. 11 tomorrow, again, that's when we're having our snow come in the morning through the afternoon with a lull in the evening and overnight hours with a low around 9. Sunday 14, that's when, again, we have our second round of snow come through with all those heavy accumulations, heavy bands of snow across the area, low of -1. And then by Monday, of course, that snow gets out of there. Sunny skies, 16. We do warm up back up to 30 by Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at, again, highs around 20. We do not get above freezing until Monday, the week after next.
And that's what I was just going to say. So no time for, I mean, there's so many people that are trying to rush to the store, get their shovels, get their, salt, get everything that they need to prepare for this. And they're hoping, okay, we'll get it shoveled, we'll get it out of here. But there's no break in the temperatures, which is going to make it stick around for a while.
Yeah, really the only thing that's going to be melting the snow is going to be solar radiation from the sun. The temperatures are not going to be helping at all.
No. And again, as we get into midweek and we see 30, we're going to feel like it's a heat wave.
Exactly, I know.
Well, again, we wanted to start and we wanted to go longer with Beckett because this is a serious situation. And again, we need you all to take care of each other. This is when the community really comes together. Think out of your own way. Once you take care of yourself, then start thinking of the people that you might be able to help out. Beckett, please stay safe. You have hopefully no plans to try to go anywhere this weekend.
No, just staying here.
Okay. Are you going to school today?
Yes.
Probably not on Monday.
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right, my friend. Thank you for your incredible work as always. And we'll check in with you again on Monday.
All right. Stay safe.
All right, folks. And that is to each and every one of you. Please stay safe. As he just mentioned, wow, that is a lot of snow. Again, I think the saving grace for at least our immediate area is that we're not talking about snow and ice mixture. But if you are thinking that you are trying to travel anywhere, first we're going to go from cars. We'll go to planes. Again, as you can imagine, a lot of cancellations and a lot of delays are expected. If you or anyone you know has a flight that is today, tomorrow, Sunday into Monday, please check with your carrier. Normally you should have apps on your phone or have it set up that they notify you via text or call or email, whatever your preference is. But I would tell you, I mean, this is when a lot of people like to plan the travel to get out of this area. I'm hoping you can get to a warmer destination. In fact, I love to know my audience. So drop in a comment. Were you or are you going somewhere warm? Were you getting ready to go on a wonderful, beautiful beach vacation? Let me know. And I do hope you can get there. A lot of times people try to leave, on a Friday. You'll be able to get out today. And even if it's early tomorrow morning, maybe. But the problem is not just you getting out of here. It's, of course, your connecting flights and where you're heading to. So as far as the travel aspect, getting around vehicle wise, we're going to see a lot of information from MoDOT and IDOT. This winter storm is going to bring big business to some of the local snow removal companies. So we always look for people that are able to benefit, right? The good side of people not liking snow, but there are businesses that are going to do that. They're preparing for around the clock operations. So major winter weather approaching our area. Salt suppliers, of course, seeing high demand. I'm hoping that you already have that. If not, this is when you go to the department stores, you go to any of your hardware stores, and you're looking and it's down to nothing, if there is at all. So for those of you that are organized and prepared, maybe you did it already. If not, I would get out early this morning, go get what you need, get some extra shovels, get the salt, get the ice, anything you need that you use to try to get rid of that. Once you get that, everything taken off of your driveway and off of your sidewalk. I'll ask this: as the snow falls, will you wait until that second round and then take it all, or will you do a little at a time? I'm thinking a little at a time is smarter, because you're not having to remove, again, whether it's 8 to 12 inches that Beckett's talking about. So if you take a little bit off and then the next, you're not trying to remove that much. And watch your back. Again, this is when we used to have chiropractors on to talk about lifting with your legs. It gets hard because people start to want to just bend over and throw and just to get the darn thing done, right? Do you have to do it manually? Do you have to do it with the snow blower? Or, like we are blessed, do you have an incredible neighbor? Shout out to Scott. I love you, Scott and Michelle. We don't have a four-wheeler. They've got a four-wheeler with a plow on the front. And he's like, Monica, with everything it's going on with your family, with your mom, please don't even worry about the snow. I've got all that taken care of. And again, God bless you all that have been asking what you can do for our family. I kept telling him, he's like, is there anything else? What can my family do? And I was like, no. They are already dealing with the fact that their daughter did the same thing. She was on in a ski trip and she hurt herself. And I was like, please take care of your family. Thank you, though, for helping us with this. Again, what's the pre-treatment strategy? Snow removal companies plan to pre-treat the parking lots and the sidewalks with salt before the storm arrives. So you're probably, as you're running to the store, going to see a lot of that on the roads already. That makes plowing and shoveling easier a little bit later. So cold temperatures presenting a lot of challenges, though. The biggest challenge is going to be the low temps. Your salt is not going to work as good. So you're going to need pre-treated salt. That is the biggest message that a lot of these companies are saying to address the issue. Again, some people are treating rock salt with a liquid magnesium solution. These are more of the bigger companies that are taking care of it, because they say that treats the ice to a lower temperature, so you can pretty much melt the snow and ice to -5. They plan to remain at their facility from Saturday morning through Tuesday to meet the demand for the snow removal company. So they're out there for you. I know a lot of times it's not in the timing that we are wanting, but we've got to have patience. There are so many levels of, again, all the companies that are out there, what they're trying to do, as well as you. Now, we mentioned taking care of the elderly. We mentioned checking in on them. A lot of times, this is when you take care of your own driveway, you take care of your own sidewalk, and then you go over and say to your elderly neighbors, or again, your grandmas, grandpas, etc., please don't have them out trying to take care of this. So let's go back into the mindset as I did when I was a young kid. Again, it's a moneymaker for your kids as well. Do your kids still go and ask neighbors, hey, can I shovel your driveway? And if they do, what is the going rate? Because my brothers and I, we used to do that. We were excited when we got, I think at the time, $10, $15, maybe $20, some of the bigger driveways. I would pay for someone to do this driveway anytime, any winter. This is for me and Jim. I'm like, please, let's not do it anymore. So to manually do this, it's a pain. Jim will take from the top, because again, if you don't know, we have this long driveway. It's like the length of a football field, straight down or straight up, trying to get back into it. And he'll take a shovel and just make tracks so that we can get out on the tracks. Me, I like to clear the whole thing, but as you can imagine, that is a arduous job. So again, the benefit is the people who do this on the side, maybe, or do it for a living. This is their time to really shine. Now, the other warning is for Spectrum. They're warning you to be on alert for service issues ahead of the winter storm. And this is from multiple levels. For those of you that give your kiddos a phone or a tablet, right, to keep them busy, well, it's not going to work. Remember the network issues. The company says they're working on the network to make sure its internet service is sturdy. They're also checking backups to make sure they trigger if the main systems go down. They will be staffing up as needed if issues arise. The company says mobile customers, you can use your device for a Wi-Fi hotspot to stay online if the internet service does in fact go out. And again, that's just the message from Spectrum, but you need to think about any of you with whatever your service is, that's a possibility as well. You heard Beckett say the preparation. Besides the batteries, have a candle. This is where it would be beneficial to have one of our Be Kind candles, because first of all, as you get frustrated, you would just be looking at that wonderful message and you would be smelling how amazing it is. I had a woman buy one of these from us the other day, and she's like, Monica, even though it says memories around the tree and it was meant for Christmas, she's like, I think you should sell those year round because they smell amazing. So if you don't know about our Be Kind candles, yes, a little plug. I would love for you to reach out and let me know if you want one. We can get one for you. They're on the website, but also I like for you to go and support some local. So we have some of the boutiques in our area that have them as well. And I'll let you know where you can get those. You can go to Apricot Lane Boutique. She might still have some. If not, we'll make sure that she can get some. Or Oh My Posh Boutique had them in Cowdleville. We're going to transfer those, the Embers at the Cottage ones, to the Craft Cottage in Cowdleville as well. But for right now, I've got them, so you can reach out to me for that. It would come in handy for you this weekend. So batteries, candles, just be able to have some illumination in your home if the power does go out. Again, if you're heading out, make sure there's blankets. You have the emergency kit in your car. Have not just the boots that are on you, but maybe have some extra shoes, multiple layers of socks. You want to have something where you can charge the battery if your battery dies in your car. If you were to get stuck on the side of the road, make sure that you have a charger to charge up your cell phone. That's the main thing. And for a lot of people, they've got the ones that they carry around that, they just slap to the back of the cell phone and it powers it up immediately. So all those levels, you got to think and then think again and do kind of a checklist of a handful of times if you are getting out of this. Because again, ideally you stay off the roads. Let MoDOT and IDOT, and then if you're in other states, wherever you are, let the Department of Transportation do the work before you get out. And again, there's some people that have to. Emergency situations require many people to get out in it. Let them be on the roads. You stay off of it. Enjoy it. Because yes, I agree. It really is gorgeous to watch. It's just a pain trying to get out in it. All right, in other news you can use, this is freaky. A Charlotte man lost more than $1 million. Yes, I said $1 million in a cryptocurrency phone scam. This guy's from Charlotte. He lost this after falling victim to a phone scam that began with a caller claiming to be from a legitimate crypto company. The man is Gene Duckett. He received a call Friday in March from someone claiming to be from Ledger, a company that makes hardware wallets for cryptocurrency storage. The guy on the other end said, "Is this Harold? I'm Harold Eugene." And he said, "Yeah, who's calling?" And then the guy says, "My name is Benjamin. I'm from Ledger. Your funds are in danger of being stolen." The caller directed the man to a website where he could supposedly secure his funds. The scammers then used a multi-step approach to gain his trust. And this is what they do. They prey on multiple levels of people, but many times it's the elderly. They said they needed to give him a security code so that he would know when someone called back that it was in fact a correct person. When the second person called who knew the security code, the man felt comfortable, right? There's the trust that they've been gaining with him, typing in his seed phrase into the website. That's a secret recovery phrase, by the way, that must be entered to access the cryptocurrency funds. After he entered that information in, he received a call from a third person who told him something had gone wrong. And he said, "Oh, something went wrong," right? And so as soon as he said that, he looked on the XRP ledger and he said, "I had saved it on my wallet address." All of the funds that were in the wallet were suddenly gone. The caller hung up and he realized he had been scammed. His funds had been stolen. It was $38,000. That's how much it was worth. A lot of money. He described the emotional impact of the theft, saying that everyone immediately knew something had gone wrong around him. He said he's, again, and he feels like such a fool. He has beaten himself up quite a bit about this, but cryptocurrency, folks, it reaches into the billions of how many people have been scammed out of this. I hope something like that never happens to you, but I do that story to make you aware. And, you know, I'm not going to say who, but I have family and friends that have gone through not the cryptocurrency side, but the same thing, that you're on the phone. They're telling you to, give us access to get into your computer. And then they have access to everything. So do not fall for them. Hang up the phone and then you go and you can call your companies directly. That's how you get around it. But it's always, especially our elderly, they prey on them. And it's immediately that people are saying, from their moms, their dads, or grandma, grandpa, etc. No. It's a real thing. They swear, right? Because they do such an amazing job of really getting their trust. But $1 million, holy cow. All right, pay attention to this one. You may have this in your home. 1.5 million bottles of stain remover sold at Walmart and Target, recalled for potential serious bacteria exposure. Now, this is Angry Orange enzyme stain removers in fresh, clean, and orange twist scents, sold in 24-ounce, 32-ounce, and 1-gallon sizes. They're orange and white, as you can see on the screen. They have Angry Orange and stain and odor remover on the front. Some of those were sold in a bundle with a UV light that attached to the bottle. This bacteria, an environmental organism found widely in soil and water. People with weakened immune systems, external medical devices, or underlying lung conditions may develop a serious infection if exposed to the bacteria. It can enter your body if inhaled, through your eyes, through broken skin. People with healthy immune systems are usually not affected by the bacteria. Here's the good news. No illnesses have been reported as a result of using the stain remover. It was sold at several major retailers, including Walmart, as I mentioned, as well as Target. If not, Home Depot had it, as well as Staples, TJ Maxx, online, Amazon, Walmart, Target, Angry Orange, and Chewy. Again, all of those online from March of 19 through December of last year. Stop using it immediately. You can contact Thrasio for a full refund. The photo that you're going to do, they're actually saying to receive the refund, take a picture of the bottle with recalled and your initials written on it in marker. The photo should be emailed to productrecall@angryorange.com. Again, that's productrecall@angryorange.com. So whenever there's some big recalls like this, definitely want to pass those along to you. Okay, here's why January, and I mentioned it at the beginning, here's why January and February are your secret weapons for travel in 2026. Why everyone's suddenly a January, February planner. So 61% of people expect to plan trips again this month and next month, which is why I was a little worried that many of you are trying to get out this weekend. It's more March through April, then goes to 26%. May and August percentage of people wanting to plan their travel for this year goes down to 9%. And September through December, only about 4%. When the survey asked why people book their major trips during, they call it Planuary, January and February, 2 reasons rose to the top. 32% said they desperately need something to look forward to. Again, I don't want to look forward to this crazy weather. 20% said they're hoping to snag better prices and availability. Another 16% looking for post-holiday deals. So why do people like to plan early in the year? Why do you think? Are you one of the people that like to get out in January and February? I haven't. I usually, with being in TV and radio, February we could never take because it was a big ratings month. I did in December, but yeah, I mean, this is when I haven't really traveled. For some reason, I don't know why. I go to a warmer place when it's warm here, but this is when a lot of you like to. But people say they need something to look forward to. 32% say that. Looking for better pricing and availability, that's 20% of you. Looking for post-holiday deals, I could see that one, 16%. Need to lock in vacation time so not everybody else is getting what you want, right? 8%. Want to use points earned over the holidays, 7% say that. 6% say they're stuck inside and they're bored, and 2% are fulfilling New Year's resolutions to travel more. So let me know. I'm going to look at your comments here in just a second. All right. Finally, she's been flipping those numbers and letters for decades. She's finally getting married so she can flip. Yay, she can flip. Here's to the bride. This is Vanna White. She has finally announced that she married her longtime partner, John Donaldson. She and John, announced their marriage on Instagram on Wednesday. She said, surprise, here's a picture. We got married. John and I have been in love for more than a decade, and a little while back, we wanted to make it official in a private ceremony. So People magazine reported that Vanna White said in a previous interview that her relationship just works, quote, just works, right? And that she knows he's the one and he knows I'm the one for him. The 68-year-old TV star shared that they work well together because Donaldson is the male version of her, while noting that they are very similar. She has shared many images of herself with Donaldson and her two children over the years. They have supported one another at public events as well. They've both been previously married. Vanna White shared two grown children with her ex-husband. But now, again, congratulations to her. She seems like a sweetheart, and I think there's some people that I know that have met her that have actually said that is in fact the case. So congratulations to Vanna. All right, in sports news, St. Louis Blues in action against the Dallas Stars. Game time tonight. They've got their own ice, right? They could probably soon just get outside and start skating. 7 p.m. is the game time tonight. And then we go into our National Day of calendar. It is National Security Technician Day. It's National Handwriting Day. And a lot of kids don't even know how to do cursive anymore, right? And, this one sounds good. We're going to make a dessert. We're not making pie. We're going to do a Cool Whip dessert on this Foodie Friday, but today is National Pie Day. All right. That is it for our little news you can use. I don't like to put any negativity in the news. And I know you might think that we talking about snow is negative. Some of you think it's beautiful. I'll ask you, say that you love it or you hate it. How about that? Drop in a comment as we get ready to get in our Foodie Friday. Do you love this weather that's coming? The kids probably do, right? They can't wait to make the snowman. If you can get out, they can't probably wait to get to Art Hill. They're not going to go to Steinberg because obviously that's closed doing renovations. But I'll agree with every child and we all get back to the kid at heart, right? I do. Don't get me wrong. I love to watch it. And I'm sitting here in my office looking out the window. It's going to be gorgeous to watch. The biggest problem is, and I told Beckett, is, with what's going on with mom, getting her transferred from the hospital to a skilled nursing facility. That's my biggest fear, hoping that she can get out today so we can get her over there and safe. But then it's about us trying to get there to be there with her. Ugh, right? Just frustrating across the board. All right. Christy, good morning. And thank God it's Friday, she said. Kathleen, good morning to you. Julie Fabian, good morning. Let's see. Linda Eckert, good morning. Dorothy, good morning to you. Marty, park down the hill, get the towels to dry the dog's paws. It's coming, he said. Yes, we will absolutely do that. The dogs just barked as I said that. Stephanie, good morning. Rose, for those in St. Louis, if you've been waiting for hell to freeze over, this is your time. Cindy Barton says, good morning. Heading back from Florida. Okay, against my better judgment, but work commitment. Boarded and can't watch, but we'll watch on replay. Happy Friday. Well, Cindy Barton, I am so glad that you're going to make it back safely before it all comes in. Sean, good morning. Karen Manzelli, good morning. I'm praying for your mama still, and everyone be safe. Thank you for the prayers. Please keep them coming. It's 21 below in Minnesota, Stephanie says, and the wind chill is 40 below. Oh, dear Lord. Stephanie, thanks for watching from Minnesota. I'm so sorry. Yes, Stephanie said, thanks, Beckett. All of you, right? He does incredible work for us. Monica, you are so correct. This morning at 4 a.m., I put my slippers on and soft robe and thanked God for heat piping out into my home and my blessings. Not everyone has this. Many shelters are prepared. Mandy said, came to Schnucks hungry this morning. Karen Crum, good morning to you. Linda, our friend has property south of Farmington. There's a dog that hangs around. We found out that he was dumped. So today, Jim's going to go pick him up, bring him back so he has shelter and a warm bed. There we go. That's community. He will then go to another friend, hopefully for adoption. What a sweet little beagle. Linda and Jim, thank you for getting out of your own way, right? Christy, great job. Beckett, stay safe. Exactly. He nailed that forecast today. This is when he really loves to shine. He does love the snow. You remember? For those of you who've been watching for years now, he used to travel and try to chase the biggest aspect of the storm. He doesn't have to go anywhere now because it's coming right here. But he was reporting on the Navy Pier Force. It's one of our favorites. Standing atop this huge mound of snow and as well seeing thunder snow. That's our favorite memory. Ginny Antonacci, good morning. Last night I went to kettlebell class, enjoyed the infrared sauna instead of going anywhere near a store. The Soha area, which is the Southern Hampton area in our area, all the way back to Oakville, the store parking lots were full even at 8 p.m. So a lot of preps last night. Yeah, I meal prep, so not worried. Plan to stay home until it's safe. That is the overall message. Stay off the roads. Let the professionals and emergency staff do their jobs. Be safe, everyone. Yes. Rose says, Beckett, will we see you later online with your sleeves rolled up and jacket off? No way. Thank you, Beckett. Christy said, I'm not going anywhere. Jenny, Beckett does an awesome job. Yes, I love that. God bless you, Linda, right? Linda says, I'll be in the recliner with a warm blanket and a good book. Yes, exactly. I plan to read our book, our anthology. I don't have it here. At the studio. It's about time. If you didn't get your book yet, I will get those to you. They just came in. For all of you that ordered through me, and those of you that ordered through me, I am personalizing them. I have about 25 books, I think, that have been ordered directly through me. So if you haven't gotten it, and if you don't know about it, it's an anthology called It's About Time. Pivotal moments, powerful voices. 35 of us from this area, 35 women with incredible stories of hope and inspiration. If you want an actual paperback or hardbound, reach out to me. I will be making a list as we go into February, getting another full order in. But those of you that have ordered, I will be reaching out to you. I will not be getting them to you this weekend, obviously with the weather, but into next week, we will pick a small business that I'll go to support them. Maybe a coffee shop or a breakfast place. We'll all come together and I'll sign them for you right there in front of you. Let's see. I went to Deerberg's in Arnold yesterday afternoon. It was crazy busy, Christy says. Ginny, I heard it was crazy at Arnold Deerberg's. A little at a time is the way to go, Bab says. Good morning, everyone. From Julie. Stay warm, safe. I keep telling my husband the same thing. We're not getting any younger. Let the kids do it. Our kids in our subdivision are really reasonable. Look, let them do it. They need to make money. We're helping them make money and you're saving your back. My youngest son does it. He said, if you didn't get your bread and eggs, good luck today. Deerberg's and Snooks were wiped out. Yeah, we got our eggs. He worked 12 hours yesterday, said people acted like they would be snowed in for months. They all freak out. Spent so much money, great for grocery rotation. Well, Jim and I got lucky. We actually went grocery shopping a few days ago. So we're ready to go. Linda, when we get snow like this, we are stuck in our driveway. It's always quarter mile of gravel and it's hilly, hard to plow, so your gravel stays on the road. Make sure your phone charger, is also charged if you have a cordless type. They come in handy. Luann, good morning to you. Terry, you're the best, Linda. Hope he gets a great home. Audra, good morning. Thanks for the reminder. Just plugged in my battery charger. You're welcome. Was down to 12%. Yes. And one more time, I'm going to go through it. Have blankets in the car. Have extra socks. Have entire extra clothes. I would do. Have multiple coats. Have hats. Have gloves. Have your battery charger once again. Have a thing of food. Maybe have a little cooler. You probably don't need it though because it's so cold out, but have extra food with you as well as flashlights, have the battery chargers. We've always talked in TV news or radio as well about all the levels of things to have in the vehicle before you head out, because you got to think of worst case scenario if you were to get stuck. All right. Good morning, Tony. No, I'm not ready for the snow. Julie, I love going where it's warm when it's cold here. Ron, good morning. Karen, love it. Christy said, I hate the snow. Linda says, I hate it. Stephanie says, I hate it. Julie says, I'm happy to stay home for a few days. Stephanie, who's from Minnesota, said, I grew up in it. Julie, yes, I will take a paperback. I forgot to tell you. Okay, Julie, I'll put you on there. Linda, my brother's at St. John's Mercy Burn Unit. Oh, no, he had a welding accident yesterday. Bad enough for skin grafts, but luckily he should heal up quickly. His shirt caught fire. Oh, my goodness. Burns to his chest, to his back and arm. We are absolutely saying prayers. Linda, prayers going out to your brother, and I know they will take care of him. St. John's Mercy is amazing. Christy said, I'll be watching the snow from my kitchen window while making dog food. All right, there we go. I think we're all up to date. Let me go over to Instagram real quick, make sure nobody's talking over there. Feel free to interact, ask any questions, and enjoy. We've got a Foodie Friday for you. Before we get into that, I want to thank all of our current sponsors and then room for you. We've got some people that are coming on in February and March, but JG Optimal Wellness, Spas and More, Slyman Brothers, Defiance Ridge Vineyards, and Dot Fleshman Realty, they make sure that we've got this show for you day in and day out, every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. We just mentioned Spas and More. If you have a spa, a hot tub right now, this is when you want to get in it. Linda mentioned that at one time. Yep, you watch the snowfall, you're inside, and this is when I miss the hot tub the most. Spas and More. They are one of our big sponsors. They're located at 12957 Gravois Road in Sunset Hills, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They are closed on Sunday. Check them out on social media at Spas and More STL or online, spasandmorestl.com. Yeah, just listen to that. I will tell you, it is far beyond the idea of people thinking that this is the luxury side of it all. Nope. It's not about luxury. It's about wellness, mental, physical, spiritual wellness. They have master spas, by the way, the world's largest hot tub and swim spa manufacturer. So it could be a hot tub that you're looking for, or it could be a swim spa, or a lot of you like the whole idea of contrast therapy. So it's the idea of cold plunging, going right into the sauna. For them, they call it the chilly goat and the sweaty goat. Spas and more. Thank you for everything that you do. And I was talking to Angie yesterday, and she's super excited about this. They are returning they're going to be a part of the big home show downtown, the 46 Builders St. Louis Home and Garden Show, coming up March 6th through the 8th. It's at America Center. So mark that down. Something to look forward to, right? Friday, 10 to 7, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 5. Again, not this weekend, 6th through the 8th of March. And they will be involved in that, the 46 Builders St. Louis Home and Garden Show. So look for the Spas and More booth, the hot tub, swim spa, cold tub, sauna blowout sale. They will be at booth 1830. So if you're going, mark that down. Up to 50% off manufacturer suggested retail price, immediate delivery, flexible financing. So if you're wanting it now and not having to wait till March, reach out to Angie and say, I want one, because I bet you there's more snow coming this weekend. All right. Prayers going out for everybody, to Linda especially. So thank you to Spas and More. Thank you to all that are a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. Okay. You getting hungry? I'm hungry. It is time for our Foodie Friday. And as I mentioned, if you know somebody that you want to get on the show, if it's a chef or a restaurant from one of your favorite restaurants, or maybe you're a home chef, let's feature you like we are today with Carondelet Kitchen and Carondelet Garden. I'm ready to introduce you to Dr. Beth Russell, and let's bake. Well, good morning and welcome into a Foodie Friday. Again, we always love that you watch these, and I love the fact that you've been so interactive, and a lot of you are making the dishes. That makes me really happy. Can't wait to hear if it was a flop or if it was, yes, everybody gave it a thumbs up and they absolutely loved it. So for those of you that have been making any of the recipes, let us know how they've turned out. We've cooked. We've baked. Today, we're going to go on the baking side. Let me introduce you to my guest, Dr. Beth Russell. First, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this is what was funny. Over the last 2 weeks, the people we have had on, they're like, how did you find me? And I said, by the beauty of algorithms, it's just like popping people up, right? Mm-hmm. She and I didn't know each other just a few weeks back. I didn't know Tiffany. I didn't know our guest who was with Gift Wrap Perfection, who I love. She and I were like, it was a Today Show scene. I was like, this to this to this. But it's been a lot of fun. And that's what I ask all of you. Yes, chefs, restaurant owners that you've been patronizing for many, many years, let's bring them in. But I also like the people who aren't getting all the notoriety. Maybe they need to come in and let's bring them on set and let's do a Foodie Friday together. So you came up and I was like, what's Carondelet Kitchen? What's Carondelet Garden? What's this all about? And so I reached out to her and we're going to ask about all that. So what that is, her food blog, some beautiful pictures and things you'll learn about the history of St. Louis and even from a horticultural standpoint as well. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to get to baking. So before we get into what we're making today, you started your food blog how long ago?
In 2020.
2020? Okay, so I saw some from back at 21, and then I saw your like congratulatory one of 1,000.
Yes.
So how many where are we now with how many you've had?
Oh, we're over thousands at this point. But yeah, 2020 was when we kind of started thinking about the idea of doing it. And then 21 is actually when we went live with all of our ideas to bring just good news to St. Louis.
Oh. See, that's why we connected.
Yes, and we wanted to go ahead and, when I say we, my husband and I, but we work as a partnership, and I just had all these old family recipes, and he started a garden, so it became a natural thing that we started cooking in the kitchen. Of course, seasonally, I can say what was growing in the garden and what I decided to make in the kitchen.
Right. Yep. Use that produce, right? Get out there and start your gardens, even if it's small, and then learn from people that know what they're doing, and then grow it from there. So, Carondelet, for those that are, first of all, if you're outside of St. Louis area, come on in and come support St. Louis and find out what we're all about. But the Carondelet area is just absolutely beautiful. And this is your opportunity to pay homage or homage, however you want to say it, right? So did you grow up in that area?
No, we have been living there for over 40 years, and it's kind of become our home now. Mm-hmm. And when we were thinking about the name of the blog, I kept thinking grandma's recipes, mom's recipes, because that's where a lot of my recipes came from. Mm-hmm. But then all of a sudden we were like, wait, we live in Carondelet. Let's talk about Carondelet. Let's talk about our garden, our kitchen. What's going on in the neighborhood?
Sure.
What's going on with local makers? Right. Let's go visit the restaurants and promote local.
I love, well, again, we're all about supporting small business. You want to keep these people thriving. You got to get in and you got to support them. You've probably been seeing it in the news. There's so many restaurants that have been closing their doors, and it is heartbreaking. But at the same time, you have to realize how much of a role you play in that. You know, I heard a lot of the restaurant owners say, you got to come and eat in the middle of the week. You buy some gift cards, and then, you know, around the holidays, and then bring them back. And then my big thing is, I don't use any of the third-party apps. So if I'm going to go and pick up some food, I'm calling the restaurant directly, dial them directly, so they get 100% of the food, of proceeds, so that they can keep their doors open. But St. Louis, right? Born and raised, love it. And unfortunately in the news, it just gets, from a crime standpoint, such a bad rap. And then we come back going, but there's so much history, right? You write about a lot of this. There's so much from a culture standpoint and a great food scene.
It's a great food scene. You can do so much culturally that is reasonable. We talk about all the number of theaters in St. Louis. We have 3 opera companies, for heaven's sake.
We're spoiled.
Multiple higher education universities. I mean, this is a treasure trove. People should be running to St. Louis, not running away.
Well, you know what? Again, if you're just tuning in, Dr. Beth Russell is my guest. They are starting to come back. I'm starting to see, from whether it's conventions or we're seeing that we're, you know, proud that we're holding different from a sporting aspect. So it is nice to see it come back and put us better in a better light. We need that, absolutely. And again, support local. Keep the money in this area as much as you can. And try to not go to the big box stores and big box restaurants, and you know, feed that money into the smaller businesses. So from a baking standpoint, so I was reading all about you, and I always love that it always has a tendency to go back to moms or grandmas or dads or grandpas. For you, it is?
It is my grandma Mueller, and she was the baking queen. There are so many recipes in her box, her magic box. From dump cake to the Cool Whip dessert we're making, to even Grandpa Miller's cough medicine.
Oh, see, that's funny.
Yes, so I guess, of course, it's heavily laced with alcohol, but you actually melt licorice and it becomes
black licorice,
and it becomes this palatable cough medicine.
Really?
So I guess in those days you couldn't go to the store and just buy it the way we do today.
Do you still make it?
I have tried it. It's disgusting, but
does it work?
It does work.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, cough syrups is disgusting. You just have to do this and get it down.
Exactly.
All right, we need that recipe. We're going to give you Grandma Miller's Cool Whip dessert recipe, but maybe we need that one as we're into the cold season.
Don't worry, it's on Carondelet Kitchen. We'll make sure it's there.
You know, I saw all of your pictures, and it's so true. I think back to my mom, and I can go there. I can tell you exactly what age I am, and I can look at this recipe book that she had from our church. A lot of people get them from their churches, right? So it was from Sacred Heart and Florissant, and she had all these little sticky notes and everything in there, favorite recipes. You as an adult, you go back, I remember. You can even have the smells that come back to you in the kitchen, remembering that recipe. And if it's not this cookbook that you can tell is heavily used because it's got stuff splattered all over it, it's the recipe boxes, and they're overflowing.
And beautifully written.
Yeah,
my grandmother's handwriting. Now, once I got to Mom, the Post-it notes. And then our generation, we're typing them up and making them look pretty and trying to pass them on to the next generation in a better sense.
Absolutely. So having said that, going from grandma to you, and then you writing the blog and people following within your actual own family, who do you see taking after you?
Probably my niece and her daughter. We actually started a Tuesday supper club with her for a while, and we created a little cookbook that not only had pictures of my niece and my great niece, but the recipes that we shared with them throughout the year.
Love it. Again, and never ever stop it. You never want to see all of these generations that are handing down, then someone going, I don't want it. No,
this is really important.
Someone wants to find, give me that recipe. Okay, well, let's talk about this. We are going to make a recipe that is from Grandma Mueller. And so here's what we're going to explain. We're not using the induction stove. We're not going to use the oven today, but I love this because our Foodie Fridays are brought to you by the incredible people at Slyman Brothers. So they actually have an entire kitchen that's from Slyman Brothers, right?
Slyman Brothers. So I feel like I have a kinship to your kitchen.
Which location did you go to? The one in Hampton area?
On Hampton.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
we're
there's
city
several
folks.
locations, by the way. They celebrated 60 years, and we are so thrilled that they are part of our Foodie Friday segment. We used to cook in their kitchen in South County and West County, and we're always telling people when it comes time to buy appliances, there's no better place.
Totally agree. We love our Slyman appliances.
Do you have gas, electric, induction?
I'm gas.
I would be too. We moved into a house, though, that was electric. I'm like, I love gas. However, have you tried induction?
No, but I've heard it's fabulous.
It is. So you have to play around with this before you go, because if you, as someone who enjoys being in the kitchen, but we have to have patience. But when there are certain aspects of your recipe that you want quicker, I'm telling you, it's crazy how quick this, just even from a boiling water standpoint.
Oh, sounds great.
Oh yeah, it's like 90 seconds. Every guest I have come in, they're like, you want to turn it on? I'm like, you don't want to turn it on yet. Trust me, we're going to burn the recipe. So this is an induction stove. This is actually JennAir. And then the beautiful oven that we have. This is so cool. I mean, everything's gotten so electronic. You can control that whole thing from your phone. You can turn it on. You can go and use, let me just show you real quick, Dr. Russell. So this is the upper. Everyone always goes to open it up and they think that's the oven. And I'm like, nope, that's a microwave.
That's the
So
microwave.
the microwave, and then it handles the down below using the oven. And then what every chef needs.
A broiler.
It's a warming tray.
A warming tray.
A broiler's good too, but you have the warming tray.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from the guys at Slyman, and they're like, everybody has a tendency to go right to bake. Convect. He's stressed to use convect. Even like, for instance, this also has assisted cooking, dehydrate. It's an air fryer. I'm telling you, this JennAir is absolutely amazing. But yeah, I learned that from him when they were giving us a tutorial, and they're like, okay, even from baking a pizza, don't put it on bake, put it on convect. And they said it'll be different the way it is when it comes out to you, as opposed to like this part being crunchy and then this part's all like, oh, that cheese isn't done yet. Try it. That's a new little home tip for you. So put it on convect. But JennAir, that's what we have here in the Slyman Brothers kitchen. Sub-Zero, Wolf Cove, you want the high-end ones. Go to Slyman Brothers, please. Support those that support us. So we're not using it today, but only for this reason.
Yes.
Because?
Well, the crust has to bake. And it doesn't take that long to bake, but what takes a while is for the actual container to cool down.
Cool down.
Because we're going to be putting a lot of cool ingredients on top.
And what would happen?
It would just melt and get all ooey gooey looey, and
Grandma would not like that.
Grandma would be unhappy. And even though we do put it in the fridge overnight, so it gets a real pretty cut on it when you pull it out, it would look sloppy.
Well, we can talk about a refrigerator and a freezer, which, by the way, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but behind these cabinets, that's the freezer and the refrigerator. People will come in and go, hey, do you have a freezer? I'm like, yeah, right here. They're like, no, I said a freezer. And I said, open that up. It's a freezer behind there.
I was surprised by how much was in there, actually, when I was looking to put things away.
So we would use that. But yes, that's the only reason why we're not using the oven, is that we don't want this to be piping hot.
Right.
We're trying to put something cold on. They don't mix together. So what do we need for our recipe today?
All right, well, we'll at least talk about the crust, because it's very simple. It's just a stick of butter,
Okay.
a cup of flour, and then a half a cup of pecans.
Okay.
So you mix that all together, and as Grandma would say, it'll start to look like a pie crust.
Right.
And then once you cook it, then you get this lovely little crust, and you can see where all the pecans are. And you just let that cool, and then once that's ready and cool, we go to the next layer.
So from a timing standpoint, if someone is saying, oh, I just got invited to a party, or I'm going to host, and I want to make this, Dr. Russell, what kind of time frame do I want, knowing that I got to get this thing to cool down?
Yeah, I would say that this particular dessert would probably be better for the night before.
Okay.
Only because letting it cool overnight in the fridge, it just really, it gets the pudding all happy, and it gets the cream cheese layer happy. And plus two, when you do cut into it, again, it doesn't ooze out, it just cuts out.
It's hardened for us.
Yes.
We want to make the pudding happy.
Yes, we want to make it all happy.
Okay, so that's what we need for the crust. And then what do we need for the inside?
All right, so the next layer consists of cream cheese, powdered sugar, and Cool Whip.
Simple.
So very simple. And I've got...
We're going to do that today.
Yeah, we're going to do this today.
Okay, so we're going to take a break. We're going to start making Grandma Mueller's Cool Whip dessert. I'm going to say a spoon today instead of a fork. How many spoons would you consider this recipe to be? 1's easy, 5's difficult.
Oh, I think it's very easy. It's just a little time consuming because you want the crust to be cool. But
One
once
spoon.
you start doing this, boy, it goes together fast.
1 big spoon.
One big spoon. I made sure I brought the biggest one I had.
All right, so we're going to make Grandma Mueller's recipe, and we're hoping we're going to do it justice. I think we will, because I think she's probably mastered it by now. So don't go anywhere. More with Dr. Beth Russell when we return. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Welcome back to a Foodie Friday, and we are visiting with Dr. Beth Russell. We're making a dessert today. So we're baking in the Slyman Brothers kitchen. This is Grandma Mueller's Cool Whip dessert. And how many times have you made this?
Oh, gosh, hundreds. Because
Hundreds?
it seems like hundreds. I would make it for work, or I would make it for friends who are having a party. Funerals.
Does it get requested?
It does.
Hey, you
get
got to make Grandma's
requested,
dessert.
Yeah, especially at work. All of a sudden, like, oh, is it Beth's turn to cook? Bring that dessert again.
So, well, this is the reason we picked this one is like, this is how the blog began, right?
Yes, this was the one dessert that I always went back to. And when we were looking through the box, it was the first dessert that came out of the box. And so it was fun to see her dessert there. And then later when my mom passed, I found her version of the same recipe, and now I have the same.
And well, look, 100 times. Is there any time throughout that you're like, oh, this one was a little bit different? Oh, no, this is a little, yes?
Yes. I mean, baking is one of those things where one day it looks perfect like this. Another time I'll make the crust and I'm like, why does it look so wet?
What did I do?
Right. I did something wrong. So now I understand on the bake-off when they go, nope, throw it away.
Yep,
Let's try it again.
Yep. You got to give yourself some grace, though. But
I did.
But again, what home chef doesn't want everything to be Instagram worthy?
Well,
you're like, come on.
Perfect for your family because you're cooking with love.
But the word perfection is the thing I try to erase from everybody. It's like, stop. You're never going to ever reach that. True. So just give it your all.
Exactly.
And I can guarantee it's going to taste good. So, all right, let's get to cooking.
All righty. Well, you want to open that
Sure.
for me? And
Hey, she's going to let me. See, in the past, I've told chefs, I'm like, put me to work. And
I'm going to make a hot
talk.
mess with powdered sugar over here while you do that.
So we need this whole thing?
Yep.
Okay. We are baking. Okay, so let's also go into this as we're making our dish. We started talking just a few weeks ago, and Beth said, here's the funny thing. She said, you reached out to me just because of some pretty pictures. And you don't even realize that we are kind of connected from a media realm.
Yes.
So explain that.
Well, we have friends in common, and we were both featured on a podcast. And
shout out to Cynthia Kirkpatrick.
Yes. She Lift Project. I was her third guest. You were eighth, I believe.
I don't know my number, but I was like, oh, you were number 3. I love it.
Yes, so we have a wonderful connection in that respect.
And so you know her husband, JJ.
I do. JJ actually was a student of my husband, Doug's.
Yep.
And 35 years later, I believe, we are still going strong, and they're our chosen family, and we love to hang out with them.
I love them, and I love what she's doing, and she's all about lifting up women, right? Telling their stories. So if you don't know that, shout out to the She Lift Project. Please check her out. Yes. You also were talking about your husband, and when we started saying, well, wait a minute, is there a tie somehow, some way? Did I work with him? But you said it would have needed to be through Rockwood?
Rockwood or Webster University.
Okay.
He's taught everything from kindergarten through grad school. So, but interactive media, and that was the connection with Doug and JJ.
I love that.
The mentorship.
You did very good because JJ is brilliant. Brilliant. I'm thrilled with him. All right, we don't need this yet.
Nope, not that yet.
Okay, so once again, if you're just tuning in, it is Grandma Mueller's Cool Whip dessert. We talked about how this needed to cool, so that's why we're not baking it today. Right. But now we're making the inside. So cream cheese, whole thing of
A
cream
whole thing,
cheese.
cream cheese.
How much powdered sugar did you just use?
I just used a cup.
A cup, okay.
And this is where we get messy again.
We're
but
going
we
to
need
slather on.
2 cups of. Oh,
2 cups.
2 cups.
Okay.
I know. It seems like too much, but believe me, you want to make it nice and happy and fun.
Okay. Besides this dessert,
Yes.
what are some of your other favorites?
The dump cake is always fascinating to me because it literally is you open up a can of whatever you want, kind of fruit you want to put in, and you dump it. And
I was going to say,
it's
what
just
the heck
fun.
is a dump cake?
It basically, it was my grandma's, and she would actually take a can of like candied fruit and put it in, just dump it into the cake mix, and that's what it became. Another one of her recipes, which I make every year. The kids all call it crack, but it's caramel popcorn.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. My best friend makes this.
Yeah, and if you have one bite, you're in for it
Yep.
because it just keeps coming and coming, and you want it all.
It's
You can't
like
get
crack.
enough.
It's an
I know.
addiction.
It is, and you just want to keep it going. So
I saw something on one of your blogs, and you said you had to thank Stanley Tucci.
yeah.
What was that?
Well, it just, he inspired me to really get into my family and also celebrate the family and to be able to make all of these dishes for our family and friends and share the stories, share the love, and also just kind of better understand how these recipes work and how you can make something simple or you
Right.
can make it complicated.
Sure.
Really what you wanted. Another person that I kind of shouted out, and this is the name going back, is Craig Wilson, because I always loved his articles in the paper, and they were short and pithy. They were great stories. For example, we love the story about don't buy a sombrero.
Okay.
Meaning when you go on vacation, you buy that one thing, a sombrero.
You never use it
that
again?
You're never going to use it again.
No, just get one free at the restaurant when it's your birthday. They set it on your head and then just walk away with it.
So the fun part was the only sombrero we bought was when we went to Mexico for a wedding.
Yep.
And we bought a little ornament for our memory tree so that we could remember the trip.
Sure.
Had nothing to do with anything else. But that's your sombrero.
Well, but going back to the Stanley Tucci one, I went to that page and I looked at the picture and I went, what is that? It was like a dome with a bunch of pasta that was coming out of it. What was that?
It was called a timpani.
Okay, I was like, what is this thing? It looks fascinating to me.
It is fascinating. You put it into basically a big Dutch oven and you make a drum of food.
Yeah.
And you put in pasta and salami, olives, if that's your thing.
The whole kitchen sink.
Yeah, and it's one of those meals that you have to make 3 or 4 days ahead of time because you have to make the meatballs.
It
you gotta
looked
make
like,
the pasta.
if we go back to the forks, it looked like a 5-fork recipe.
That was definitely a 5-fork
It
recipe.
looks difficult.
It definitely was.
Would you say that's one of the most difficult things you've made?
I would say yes,
Yes?
because
Okay.
that one was very complicated to
Okay.
me, but it was all about timing, and so that's where
Sure.
it became a little more complicated.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody thinks that they have enough time and then they get down to the wire and they're like, everyone's ready to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we
All
blended
right.
up our cream cheese, our powdered sugar,
And
and
our
a Cool Whip.
And here's the magic. I don't know if you want
me
to
that.
take that
Yeah,
side.
sure.
And the thing I love about this recipe, this is Grandma all over again. You use one thing. And she said, don't worry about combining all the different ingredients in the end. You won't see them.
That's
I'm
right.
like, okay, this is wonderful.
And then when it's in the belly, it all looks the same.
Exactly. All right,
Good?
perfect.
Okay.
That's good for now. And then it's just as simple as spreading out your first layer.
Do you have to make like pretty little ripples?
Not yet.
Up at the top though,
Yeah,
right?
we can.
Attention to detail just to make it
Attention
pretty.
to detail, yes. This is just one of those fun things about this dessert is that this part doesn't have to be gorgeous.
Right? Because it's a layer.
Yeah, it's a layer, and it's the topping that you get to play with. But the other fun thing that I like about this dessert is you can play with the flavors. And
So what else have you put in it?
you could put in banana pudding
Oh.
if you want, and make it into, say, a banana split cake.
Okay.
That makes it nice and easy. So that's kind of fun. If you're really into chocolate, you could just do chocolate.
I'm really
and
into
put in Oreos on top if you want. So
Okay.
that makes it fun.
Okay.
You could just really kind of mix it up any way you'd like to do it.
Let me ask this, Beth. There are people who watch and they're always looking for, oh, shoot, I can't have this or I can't have that. So if we wanted to make this for someone who was vegan, What could they use instead?
I would probably say maybe not do this dessert.
No?
This one is so old-fashioned and so heavy in the tradition of the labor. For example, Philadelphia cream cheese.
Right.
You know, it's like, I would rather use something local, but Grandma said use Philadelphia cream cheese. So I had to believe in Grandma. Yeah, I had to believe in what Grandma said.
Could we make this gluten-free?
I think you could.
Yep, you just would use the gluten-free flour that they have, right?
Also,
what else would be in
I
it?
didn't attempt to do this, but I managed to pick up 0 sugar pudding. So if you
look at you.
I didn't do it on purpose, but that really just helped
you did.
me.
Say, Monica, I'm keeping it healthy.
That's right. So this is how I'm helping you make it healthy, Monica. Thank you very much. It's my Julia Child moment of pivoting. I'm going with what I got.
All right, we're going to take another quick break. If you're just tuning in, it is a Foodie Friday from the Slyman Brothers Kitchen. Remember, if you yourself think, hey, I want to join Monica in the kitchen, that looks like a lot of fun. It is. We've all had a blast with these. And if you've got a recipe you want to hand down from Grandma, from Mom, shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com. Let me know what we can make together, whether it's cooking or whether it's baking. I'd love to get the kids involved again. We haven't done that in a while, by the way. We have. We've had at least one, maybe 2 kids. What do you think, Zach? I'm trying to remember. At least one. Just one? Oh, we got to get some more kids in. Let's teach them young. All right, more of Grandma Mueller's Cool Whip dessert when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Welcome back on a Foodie Friday, and I love the fact that so many of you have said this has become one of your favorite shows. That means the world to us. So we've been doing this now for we think about 6 months. I'm gonna have to go back. I'll get you the exact date on that. But a lot of really cool restaurants have been on, a lot of great chefs. Some restaurants, some people have never even heard of, or some that they have forgotten that have been there for many, many years. Just want you to go and revisit them. So support local. We keep saying that. And then we talk about the home chef. And what I love is some people like Dr. Beth Russell, I'm just going through and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. Let's bring her on. What's Carondelet all about? Oh, Carondelet Kitchen, Carondelet Garden. What's that all about? And we start to really dig in to what she loves about our area. So what is your favorite thing about doing that blog?
I think the people that we've met, I know not necessarily in person, but now I've actually met you. But it is so much fun to connect with all the people that are kind of in the same place we are, wanting to shop local, wanting to be positive, being out in and around St. Louis and talking about the different things that are so great about our city. And I even had an encounter with a lovely person who said, I always thought you were this mystery person because you're not on camera very often and you don't show yourself. And she thought I was a secret buyer or shopper. So we know each other now. We run in each other at the markets all the time, and we just always have a good laugh.
She's
about
real.
It.
She's the real Dr. Beth Russell.
I am.
I also love, as we're making this, we're going to get to the next couple of layers. You have a coffee cup, and does it say cool old people?
Super cool.
Super cool old people. Put the super in it.
Put in the super cool old people.
You and your husband are super cool old people. That's what you wanted to be.
That's what we wanted to be. We're just not, we retired young, and we got a lot to say and a lot to do.
That's right.
We just want to do our part to be positive in the community and to kind of give back so that people can know more about the city and not be afraid of the statistics, as you said earlier.
Why do you think I left TV? It was like, come on, there's so much more to tell. Stop telling the bad side.
That's right.
Okay, we are baking today, by the way. So if you just joined, the crust itself needed some cooling down. So she actually made that for us yesterday. It's done its cooling because we don't want to mix the hot and the cold together. They don't work together.
Yes.
They're not playing very good together in the playground. Correct. So we have put our layer on already. Now we're going to go into the next layer, which is pudding.
This is pudding and milk. And the thing I love about Grandma is she's like, don't wash that bowl. Just put it right into the same bowl you made the other layer because then all the flavors go into it.
Right.
And, why mess up 2 bowls?
Absolutely.
So that's what I love about, a lot of Grandma's recipes are just very practical when it comes to using your appliances and your different types of bowls and
do it all at the end.
Do it all at the end, and then you can just throw it in the dishwasher. Well, she didn't have one at the time.
I was going to say, they did it all by hand.
I think that was Grandpa with the dishwasher, actually. And so then it was just a lovely, lovely way to do a quick dessert. Again, it goes back to it is easy. It just takes a little bit of time. And to make it perfect, yes, we can eat this as soon as we're finished. But to make it perfect, you want it to be a little colder.
Okay. So you did,
Here I go
is
again.
that 3 cups of milk?
That was 3 cups of milk and 2 of the puddings.
And you're doing butterscotch.
And I'm doing butterscotch. Again, you could do whatever flavor you love.
Yep.
So if you love vanilla, if you love chocolate.
I would be chocolate all over this. Chocolate and whipped cream together, I think, is a perfect pair.
Yes. Well, I decided to go with butterscotch.
No, I'm
That's
excited
what Grandma would have made.
Yeah. And I saw the pictures. That's what she started with, right?
Yes.
And then you can play around with it however you want.
Exactly. And then for toppings, we'll go traditional again.
We're gonna go pecans.
We'll go with the pecans, but you could do butterscotch chips if you
Oh,
wanted
that
to.
would be fun.
Because
How
doesn't
about
everyone...
toffee?
Toffee would be
Ooh,
a
I
great
could see
thing.
like a Heath thing going
Heath
on.
bar or Butterfinger maybe if you want to be a little bit out there.
Yes.
Yes.
If you want to be like Bart.
Yeah, exactly. And this just gets noisy for a hot second here, but you just want to make sure that the
We're
pudding...
thickening it.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can see it starting to thicken.
Yep.
And of course it's noisy because, this is again how Grandma would make it. She didn't have a stand.
Kitchens are not supposed to be quiet.
No, and they're not supposed to be clean either, apparently. So, but you can see that the pudding is kind of in good shape now. So we'll just go ahead and...
Is there a particular holiday or a time of year you like making this recipe? If you could pick just one, even though everybody asked you for it, is there something that when Grandma made it, you were like, yes, it's associated with this memory?
Probably the 4th of July.
Oh, 4th of July.
Because it's a Cool Whip dessert.
Okay.
It's refreshing.
Okay.
It's something that you could just take out of the fridge and,
ready to go.
you're hot outside. It's like, having an ice cream cone or something.
Absolutely.
And here we go.
4th of July. Okay.
Yep. I'll give you an extra hand because I know it's awkward sometimes.
And then we're going to put pecans on top of this one. But again, we would love if you make this recipe and you start to play around with it. What do you put in yours?
Exactly. Because I know some people can't tolerate nuts, so I totally understand.
Sure.
And again, you can kind of see this looks a little messy because you get a little bit of that cream cheese in there, but that's what makes it really good. It's like a secret surprise.
Like you're a secret.
Exactly. I'm a secret. Don't tell anyone who I am.
So when people are looking at following you, are you active on both of those Instagram pages? Or do you have one more than the other?
I am more the Carondelet kitchen. My husband is the Carondelet garden.
Right.
And so you'll just see that we kind of intermix every now and then because, again, we'll talk about seasonal fruits and vegetables and I'll bring them into the kitchen and cook. And then we'll just go ahead and share photos, or it might be we were both out today and we saw this and it inspired both of us, whether it was like maybe went to the botanical garden and we went to hear one of their speakers series, but it was about food, but it was about the garden. And so it's oftentimes we will intermix.
You blend.
We blend, yeah.
Yeah, that's what keeps a good marriage going.
Yes.
But sometimes you stay in your lane.
Yeah, well, you've got to have respect for each other and dignity.
Back to the garden.
That's right. No. Believe me, it's usually, can you come out and help me in the garden?
Yes.
The top layer, as we're talking, is just more Cool Whip.
More Cool Whip.
I generally said, I don't think I need
use
that
the whole
much
thing?
If you want to.
We're close to using that whole
I
tub.
was going to say, it would make me happy, but,
Hey, let's make the baker happy.
That's right.
That
and then
is
again,
a lot of Cool Whip.
It is, but you'll be amazed that as it cools down, it just becomes this beautiful layer. And what's fun is you can play with this. So we talked about... do you want to make it fancy?
Right.
Do you want to...
Like swirls.
Yeah, we could do swirls if you wanted to. My husband tends to use the top of the thing, but you could, do little swirls or whatever makes you happy.
I want it to look like the ocean.
Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm working on it. There you go. Okay. Now you can throw your seashells out.
Absolutely.
And then we will have a finished dessert.
So just sprinkle them on top?
However you want to do it.
Okay.
This is the
we
best
should make
part.
a smiley face.
There you go. Well, I see a bit of a smile going here. So
very good.
There you go.
Do you put all of this?
I would. I like pecans.
Okay,
But,
okay.
If you're a little pecan adverse, you could go
Or if
with,
somebody has a nut allergy.
Yeah, if you have a nut allergy, I would probably go for a chocolate or, like I said, the butterscotch chips or sprinkles.
Sprinkles
if you have
would
kids.
be fun. Yeah, this actually, we were just talking about, I want to get your kids on this show. So we just realized we think we've only had one kid on here. We've got to change that. This is definitely a recipe that you could get the kids involved. They would have fun with this.
Absolutely.
They're all about this.
Yeah, because, I mean, getting out all the different layers, or here, have the spoon. Would you like a lick?
Yes. You know what I was going to do? Because I am a big kid at heart, by the way. For all of you that watch me for so many years and you're like, oh, she's this poised anchor. Really? Really? Really?
Yeah.
Look at this. That's the real Monica Adams.
There you go. That's what makes it best.
All right, we're actually going to taste not that, but this when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Welcome back on this Foodie Friday. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot of fun. We are making, in the Slyman Brothers kitchen, Grandma Mueller's Cool Whip dessert. And we have the recipe, by the way, that we will drop into the comment section for you, and Zach will put it on for you as well so that you have it. So you can make this, because I think that's what's been a lot of fun. People are watching these with us, and they're like, I want to make that. And somebody actually said last week they were making on the weekend. So let us know how it all turned out, by the way. This is what inspired her blog that's well over 1,000 blogs, which I just think is amazing. Yes. We just celebrated 750 shows. We're looking forward to 1,000 in the fall.
Yes.
So it's that passion inside that keeps you going, right?
Exactly. It's something I wake up thinking about.
That's
or,
good.
Happy hour. It's like, oh, what are you going to write about this week, dear? What food are you going to make me in the kitchen that I'll end up making for, a blog.
Right. I love it. And so we were talking about Grandma, by the way, and that's where the inspiration for this dish came. We're going to try it in just a second, but I would be remiss if we didn't say this part. So Grandma's pretty cool on many levels. She did something for the vets during World War II.
Right. She would be at the USO at Union Station welcoming the soldiers in and on and off the trains.
How cool.
And trying to provide them some of the St. Louis comforts, help them figure out their way around the city.
And I've got friends that literally did something similar to that at the airport because they've got USO at the airport. And trust me, it means the world to them, right? It just brings that warmth that they're looking for back home. Or if they're making a stop here, they see just how kind we are here.
Exactly.
At the same time, she was a seamstress.
She was. And when she met my grandfather, she was working downtown. And she worked with the designer of the Veiled Prophet gowns.
How cool.
And so she was a seamstress. So all those beads and all of those little crystals, she was the one that was working on those gowns.
And that, to me, I hope it is not going by the wayside. It for a long time was a lost art. And then I started hearing some of the younger generation start to say that they wanted to learn how to sew again. I hope that keeps going.
Yes.
I was blessed that I grew up with a seamstress. My mom is incredible. And I'm like, Mom, I want your sewing machine, but I need to sit down and have you teach me. I took when I was younger, but you forget.
Yeah, you do. And they did try to show me. I mean, Grandma was doing quilts. She would make my Barbie dolls, for heaven's sakes. The dress, these beautiful dresses.
Do you sew at all?
I sew a little. I would call myself so light because I just don't sew as well as I could.
Right, but these are the things. If you're blessed to still have Grandma and Mom around, start talking to them. Ask them to teach you, and listen, by the way. Listen to the stories they have to tell. It gives me chills when I think about it.
Absolutely.
What they can pass along to us. Well, she passed along this.
Yes.
This dessert that we're going to now try together. By the way, look at that. Monica blue plates.
Okay, well, I'm glad I did that. It kind of went with the color scheme. I didn't mean to go all red, white, and blue, but here we go.
I love it. Again, we said she likes to have this for 4th of July, but you can do it anytime. And it might end up turning into, once you make this, you might get a request to do it as much as her.
First part always looks horrible. I'm just going to say, first piece is going to look a little gross, but it still works.
I'll look a little gross.
I know.
It doesn't look gross.
No, I mean, well, gross is the wrong word. It won't look, I'm not going to use the word. No, I'm not going to say perfect because you already told me don't use that word.
Yes, release perfection and you will be happy. Look, I think it looks like it can make like a little heart.
There you go. That works. At least this one you can see the layers a little bit more.
Yep.
So that's
As I said before, It doesn't, look, once it all comes out,
It's perfect.
if we opened up our little bellies.
That's right. It's all
would
going
all
to be
look the same.
perfect. I'm just saying.
Okay.
All right. So y'all ready to dig in? All right. here
Grandma,
we go.
this one's for you.
It is. Ching.
Ching.
Ah, there we go.
Good job, Beth. Good job, Grandma.
This is why we don't change your recipe, Grandma.
How long has Grandma been gone?
Oh, gosh. Over 20 years.
20 years. The memories of grandmas and grandpas.
Yep.
This is very good. I'm going back for more. 92.
Yeah.
That's
92.
a good life.
Her husband was 103, so a lot of longevity in my family.
So tell me this. What is the number one thing Grandma told you to do in the kitchen?
Well, aside from keep your husband happy. Sorry, that was the time frame, right?
Yeah, it was.
But it was always clean up after yourself and don't leave messes for others.
Did she ever say to cook with love?
She always said to cook with love.
That's what it truly makes a difference. If you're cooking angry, something's going to go wrong in that recipe.
Absolutely.
You put a lot of love in it, it tastes that good. Ooh, I love the butterscotch. Very good.
Yes.
Yummy. All right, so you can follow, and both, she and her husband, by the way, from the garden side to the baking side to the blog side, Carondelet Garden and Carondelet Kitchen.
Correct.
Is it at Carondelet Garden, at Carondelet Kitchen?
Correct.
Just that easy?
At.
Okay.
Or if you want to
No
go to the
underscores
website.
or anything like that, just, and then the
Yeah,
website?
website is .com, so carondeletkitchen.com and carondeletgarden.com.
Follow them because they're super cool old people.
Yes,
they
they-
said it. I didn't call them old. Thank
Bless
you
you.
so much.
Thank you so much for
That
having
is
me. This
really
was great.
That was easy and delicious. So make that at your house. All right, folks, one more time. If you have a chef, you have a restaurant that you would like for me to feature, you have a recipe you want us to feature, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm a little scared. Maybe me and my team, or maybe your kids. I'd like to get your kids involved. Shoot that our way. info@therealmonicaadams.com, and let's feature them on a future Foodie Friday. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap up the Real Monica Adams Show when we come back. Well, wasn't that fun? All right, I know you're stuck home this weekend with the snow, so let me know if you make that. And if you need me to drop the recipe in the comment section, let me know. If not, Zach Kimball, thank you so much for not only shooting, but editing that wonderful package. I know that Dr. Russell was watching over on Instagram. She may still be on. She said it was a blast to be in the kitchen. So yes, we do have a lot of fun. And one more time, thank you to our incredible sponsor, Slyman Brothers Appliances. We appreciate you being a part of our show and, of course, our sponsor of our Foodie Friday. Thank you to all of our sponsors, as you see going across the bottom of the screen. All right, we had a lot of fun with that. We're going to go into the weekend. And one more time, if you did not watch the beginning of the show, Beckett Moore, our aspiring meteorologist, broke it all down for you of the timing of the snow, how much we are expecting to get. He obviously, is covering our immediate St. Louis, Missouri and Southern Illinois area, but we talked about the rest of the United States. Travel will probably be non-existent from flights and out on the roads. Stay home. Unless you are an emergency worker and you have to be out, please stay home if at all possible. Let MoDOT and IDOT do the work that they do so well. Get those roads clear for you. The temperatures are going to be bitterly cold today, only 13. We're getting down into single digits, wind chills below zero. So it's going to have a hard time to get out of here over the next several days. That's the other problem. By Tuesday, Wednesday, when we see the 30 degrees, that's going to be the good thing. Try to get some of that sun to try to melt it. But just understand that. Try to get it out of the way. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck at home for not just this weekend, but for days to come. Thank you all so much for watching. We've got our devotional. Looks good. Would like to make the dessert. Yep, we'll make that. Okay. She had that recipe in there for you multiple times. Stephanie, if you didn't grab it, the easiest would probably be just to go back, pause it, and then get the recipe. But if you would like for me to put it in the comments, I'll type it up for you. All right. So this one today is the same one we did yesterday. It's Jesus Listens, Sarah Young, not the same devotional, the same book. So this is January 23rd. Where has January gone? My living Savior, your word shows me that it's possible for your followers to be joyful and afraid at the very same time. When an angel told the women who came to your tomb that you had risen from the dead, they were afraid, yet obviously filled with joy. So I don't have to let fear keep me from experiencing the joy of your presence. This pleasure is not a luxury reserved for times when my problems and the crisis in the world seem under control. Your loving presence is mine to enjoy today, tomorrow, and forever. Lord, help me not to give in to joyless living by letting worries about the present or the future weigh me down. Instead, I need to remember that neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate me from your love. I'm thankful that I can talk freely with you about my fears, expressing my thoughts and feelings candidly. As I relax in your presence and entrust all my concerns to you, please bless me with your joy, which no one can take away from me. If you want to go deeper into the scripture aspect, it's Matthew 28, verse 8, Romans 8, verses 38 through 39, and John 16, verse 22. That's where we get the scripture part of it. And then this is the breakdown. Jesus listens from Sarah Young, and he certainly does. Christy said, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Stay safe and warm. Everyone be safe. Have a good weekend. Absolutely. So we were supposed to have Monica Lynn, who owns Apricot Lane Boutique, in studio with us on Monday. I'm fearing that we're going to have to do that virtually. But either way, we're going to tell the background before she ever opened Apricot Lane, where we're going to be with you February 10th. Please mark this on your calendar. We're going to shop together. 4 p.m. is our Mobile Monica. And if you want to have a Mobile Monica live from your business, just shoot me an email, because we take the show on the road. And obviously, I love shopping. There's Mama Jackie shopping with me when I was around Christmas time. So a lot of these clothes have been switched out as they're getting ready for spring and summer. Apricot Lane Boutique, located again right off that 6440 area and Wing Haven in O'Fallon, Missouri. Cannot wait to go there. And you love the Mobile Monicas. I know you do. Everybody's been asking, where is the next one? Well, here it is. February 10th. We also have a Mobile Monica coming up at Mary Tuttle's. We have a really cool business spotlight that is coming up with the Excel Center, which is affiliated with MERS Goodwill. We've got an upcoming Mobile Monica at Oak and Front, which is an incredible restaurant in Washington, Missouri. That one's coming up for you in May. Let's see. Mary Tuttle. I've got so many meetings that we've been having. So restaurants, businesses, farmers markets, taking the show on the road to other cities and states and countries for that matter. Send me an email. We would love to have a Mobile Monica wherever you are and take our audience and bring the spotlight to you. We have so much fun with these. And before we have the whole show at your place, we bring you in to tell the story. Again, the human interest piece. So Monica Lynn Brand, our guest Monday morning, as she tells us about her walk of life. I can't wait for all of you that have already been shopping there to find out more about Monica. And then on Tuesday, we'll find out about Lydia's house, an incredible place for women and children for that matter, who have been through domestic violence. They are benefiting from the proceeds from our book, It's About Time. And again, pivotal moments, powerful voices. I just got another order that Julie Purcell said. I saw it, Julie. I'll put you in the list. If you would like the book of inspiration and hope from 35 different voices of inspirational women, reach out to me, shoot me an email, or drop a comment in and say, oh, Monica, I didn't get a chance to order yet. I'd like a book. I will be then going to a small business, signing those and giving you a personalized inspirational message. So we've got 26 on order already. I will be contacting all of you that already ordered your books and letting you know where we'll be so that you can come and pick it up in person. All right. I love you all. I can't say it enough. Please stay safe, stay off the roads. Let the authorities do what they need to do so that when you get back on the roads, it can be safe for you. God bless you all. And remember to believe in yourself, no matter who in your life says you couldn't be this or you couldn't be that. Yes, you can. I believe in you. You've got to believe in yourself. The greatest be you can be is kind. Be kind to yourself. God bless. Be safe. And I'll see you Monday morning.